Wow, what a wonderful day. And thanks so much for being a fabulous, amazing audience. You've made the day for all of us. Let me introduce myself and my family. This is my sister and I. Can you guess which one I am? Was it the hair that gave it away? Because it's still natural, you know, it's still all there. My sister and I had a normal, loving relationship, yes? Loving sisters who fought incessantly. In fact, Julie still has a scar here where I repeatedly bashed her head on our fireplace. But I'm the big sister who always looked after the little sister. That's the same for all of you, yes? Normal, loving relationships. And to me, my childhood was totally normal. I didn't notice that we were a little different, not as well fed, not as clean, simply not as well looked after. Occasionally, I did wonder why I always went to my friends' houses and they didn't come to mine. But it didn't bother me, really, because they had lovely houses. I did know that my mother was ill, though. She suffered from mental health problems at a time when there was a severe stigma attached to that. And you do not talk about it, Vivienne, said my dad, who couldn't cope with two strong, intelligent girls. So we were on our own a lot. I do recognize now that I was ashamed of my mother. It turns out my sister and I didn't have a normal childhood. Maybe that's why I believe in equity and fairness. That you shouldn't be judged because of your background. I shout about those values now. And maybe that, as well as all the hours I forced Julie to play schools with me, maybe that led me to a career in education. And my childhood didn't hold me back. I was the first in my family to go to university. I was an English and drama teacher, which I loved. I was a secondary school head teacher, and finally, director for school partnerships at the Institute of Education in London. I was living my dream. A diagnosis of aggressive breast cancer 4 years later, 4 years ago, changed my worldview completely. My diagnosis called everything into question. My first thought, was I going to lose my hair? My second thought, was I going to die? My doctors assured me they would not let me die, but they couldn't save my hair. As I progressed through surgery, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and more surgery, I began to realize I had become a person with a disability, a hidden disability. I read absence management policies, your rights at work pamphlets, and I even read every section of my contract. Now, come on. Has anyone here ever done that? No. I wasn't angry that I had cancer. I was angry that a fit and healthy employee and a fit and healthy person and an excellent employee had disappeared. Officially, my NHS exemption card told me I would be disabled for 5 years. So throughout all of that treatment, I looked forward to regaining my blessed, normal life. And then a work colleague said to me, "You don't look ill, Vivienne. You look so normal." Those words affected me viscerally. And it took me a long time to understand why. I worried about that word normal. And I'd like to share my worry with you. Who deems who or what are classed as normal? Is it the normal people who decide? And in thinking through my answers to those questions, I reflected on my beautiful family. It's my birthday party last year. Let me introduce you. You see two sisters whose childhood and maybe adulthood were affected by a disabled mother. A niece with chronic fatigue syndrome, or ME. A sister with a brain tumour. A son with type 1 diabetes. A sister with type 2 diabetes. A nephew with mental health problems. And yet, I think we look bloody gorgeous. Don't you? We look so normal. And you wouldn't tell that 5 out of 8 of us have a hidden disability. Do you know, the more I think about this, I think the only normal people are the ones we haven't met yet. I have 1 year to go until the NHS take away my exemption card and pronounce me no longer disabled, but normal again. Normal. I hate that word now. It means some people are abnormal, no matter what other words we use to disguise that. And I want to change that. I dream of a society where we view people positively, no matter what you look like, no matter what accent you've got, no matter where you come from, no matter what you are experiencing. I want to spark a change in our thinking and our language. And I want to start by putting that word normal back into the instructions on your washing machine. Normal is a setting on a washing machine. Yet we use that word to describe people. As a very hopeful survivor of cancer, I know how we treat disabled people. I know what it feels like to be othered. You feel invisible, less wanted, less valued. So we are dreaming big. Unless I'm doing the washing, I will no longer use the word normal. And I want to ask you not to. In a sea of faces, I ask you to notice individuals, not labels. I ask you to withhold judgment and replace it with an open mind. I ask you to celebrate and value each unique person. I want to live in a world where normal doesn't exist. Please, will you help me? Will you? Thank you.